2002 C5Z06. Going to install a set of billy boat headers. Came with a bunch of hardware here. It's got the manifold gaskets, donuts, some new bolts, some nuts, and I went and had to order these air system gaskets a little bit separately. I've got some stuff from the dealer manual, repair manual, whatever, and the billy boat instructions. So I'm going to do a combination of the two, and I decided I'm going to start with the passenger side. So you'll see a few different videos here, but I'll start with the passenger side because there's a little bit more access to pull the manifold out. What's unique on the passenger side versus doing the driver is I will have to remove the dipstick, and there's a connection, the air line in the back, that I don't think we have on the other side. So underneath the car here, I'm on the passenger side. There's an exhaust flange here. You'll see 3 nuts, 2, the ones up in the corner here, it's a triangle. They're all 15 millimeter. I'm going to start with a half-inch drive, sorry. And I'm starting with an impact socket just so I don't have to go back and forth. If this doesn't work, I will move on to my breaker bar and then an impact, which is the last thing I want to do. Alright, let's get in here and give this a try. Oh wow, that guy came right off before I loosened him too much. Didn't get his friends. So while these have been on here for 20 years, 22 years, the car doesn't have a lot of mileage. So, alright, I'm going to continue to loosen these up and then I'll resume the video. Alright, those 3 came off cleanly, no issues. And I think I will do the driver's side just because I'm down here, but I'm not going to do any other work on the driver's side right now. Driver's side broke free by hand, also very easily. I did about 4 days on and off of penetrating spray. So both sides are loose. Move on to the top. Just a closer look on how nasty these nuts were. They're actually not that bad, considering the age. Alright, next step is to get back underneath and get out the oxygen sensor. So a little disappointing. Was able to get my 7/8, these are like tools for working on like brake lines, stuff like that, around there, but there isn't enough room to articulate the wrench. So I got to see what else I have, or maybe I have to use an open, other side of a box end. Back on out on the passenger side, this was a pain. I had to get a 7/8 crowfoot on there, and was able to loosen it. Got to be real careful not to strip everything though. It's very tight, and it's not the style of crowfoot really should be using, but this is a once or twice in a lifetime thing. I doubt I'm going to strip it. If I do, the sensors aren't that expensive. Now that the sensor's hand tight, I'm going to disconnect, and just for reference, the starter's right about here. Pull this grenade pin and then disconnect the electrical connector for the sensor here. But I'm going to need 2 hands to do it, so I'm not going to be able to get in the video. So I couldn't get to this from underneath, but here's that connector. Here's that grenade pin. You have to pinch it. It was easier coming from the top with, this is my right hand, but I came in with my left hand through here, pinched it, and then now I should be able to get the connector out. I'm gonna need 2 hands for that. Anyway, found out it was easier to do from the top. So to remove the connector, and it's gonna be difficult to see. You can see some of the orange though. from the underside, you're going to pull it down, and the part that is secured to the rest of this harness remains, and the part you need to remove is the, that'll come out with the sensor is on the top, but there's a Christmas tree holding it onto a flange. So I'm going to figure out how to either pinch that from behind if I can get behind here, or get some tool and pop it out. Hope I don't damage it. All right, so I was able to separate the connector from the gray piece holding it to the body. I actually broke the connector, so I'll have to see what I can do to repair that. It's just a piece of the tab. Now I have the connector here. I've just folded it over so that the wires will all turn together, and I can turn this by hand. So I will slowly work this out and then resume. Oxygen sensor is out. Here's the little piece I broke. Came right off of here. It's a channel that holds on that gray clip that holds it to the body. So I will try probably gluing this, but also, I'd be able to zip tie this on, or I can just buy a new sensor. I'll figure it out when I get there. Since this is fresh in my head, I'll do the driver's side. I'm probably not going to show that in the video because it's just going to be the identical process. I wasn't going to show this, but the driver's side came out very easily. I just want to kind of document it because the O2 side of the connector is facing upward, which is opposite of how it was on the passenger side. So I'll have to make sure that it comes down off the oxygen sensor and does a 180 going in. Make sure I do that again. So to remove this connector from the body, there's this tang here on the opposite side of the one you use to release, to separate the connector. You need to pull back on this gray piece. It's difficult to see. There's a gray piece. Pull back on the side that has the open end of the connector with a screwdriver, and then slide it, and it'll pop right off. All right, so again, here's the crow's foot. I had to use 7/8. Here's the driver's side oxygen sensor. And just to clarify, here's where the other half of the connector will clip on. This side will be on the body. And here is that little tang that you need to overcome by bending back the gray clip that's on the body side. So don't pull the Christmas tree out. Do it from there. This will be the end of this video. Next one I will start taking parts off of the top of the engine.